Cross your fingers. Oh, we should be fine. Your blades is not going to go anywhere. Not really. Just don't want to burn the parachutes off. Yes, thank you, Tappy. This dinosaur skeleton is 200,000,005 years old. Well, John Museum though told me it was 200 million years old, not exactly 5 years ago. Alright, the blade is ticking down to 150, but we've got more than enough in there, so that's not going to be a problem. Bring this down a little bit faster. I suspect we're going to come down over ocean this time. Oh no, another continent coming up. We might make it to there. Let's see. Oh, it's landed between as well. We're actually starting to get lift effects. We're actually starting to fly, which is why we're slightly off axis. You can't be here all 24 hours to tell us jokes, Tatty. That's alright. I'm fairly sure I can come up with a few of my own as well. Crew report, flying over the grasslands. Yeah, we'll keep that. The drogue's out. Bring our speed down a bit. Funny thing, we're out of electric charge. Oh no, still got a tiny bit left. That's alright, we can turn SAS off now. Let it gently swing in the breeze. We are coming down over land, but it's only a couple hundred meters high, so it's not a massive change in altitude. And down to 220 we can deploy main chutes. If those three don't bring us down at a decent speed, nothing will. Even if the heat shield goes boom, we know we're landing on this crew cabin, which apparently can take 40 meters a second, so should be fine. Right, let's spin this on a little bit. Drogues are fully deployed, main chutes will be out any second now. And we're coming in upside down. Because, why not? Let us flip over. Yes. How accurate are the air resistance calculations? That's a very good question, Tatty. I'm not entirely sure. I know they're a lot better than they used to be. I think they've modelled the lift surfaces reasonably well now, but there's still a few glitches in the system. It's not brilliant. It's not, you know, a full-on flight sim calculation type stuff. But yeah, empty crew cabin started spinning side on into the direction of travel. Yeah, I think it tries to calculate exposed surfaces, and I think it tries to calculate what's shielded and work out the airflow from that, but it's not always perfect, and some of the shielding doesn't work right, and some of the calculations are a little bit approximated. So yeah, it can glitch out and you get random twists and all sorts of rubbish stuff, but... Alright, 5 meters a second. That's more than enough deceleration to make this survivable. Let's just bring this home. Land it in the middle of nowhere. We'll get the crew rescued. Bob's happy, Tito's happy. Jeb's always happy. Drop the time warp at 30 meters a second just in case. And boink. And fall over. And not go boom. Not sure we can get Jeb out of there, but oh no, we can. Actually, on the other side. Is there any science to be done? No, but if we get Bob out, and I think we can. Jeb, get back in. Seriously, Jeb, get back in the ship. Where's that climb option keep going away? Come on, Jeb, in you get. Thank you. Bob. Oh, there's no hatches on this, is there? We can't get him out. Alright. Jeb. Back out again. I'm just trying to read Tati's comment. Oscillations are constrained to 1 degree of freedom. Best known example is the Den Hartog for pure plunging oscillations. I'm sure that answers that question. I'm sure that answers that question perfectly. But I am not going to try and go through that lot on stream. Transfer crew. Transfer Bob to the pad. Or the pod rather. Or squeezing through the Science Junior. And then Bob can EVA. Collect the data from material study. Spin it round. Don't know why this chip is spinning underneath it, but probably one of those Den Hartog oscillations. And then we can do another material study from the grasslands for an extra 7.5 science. Come on, Jeb, back on board. Oh, can't go on a full module. Fine. Bob, I need you to squeeze back in to crew cabin. I know it's a tight fit getting in behind that materials bay, but you'll make it. Thank you very much. And then you can get back on board and we can go home. Yep, I'm sure that makes perfect sense, Tati. I've read it twice now, and I am not an aerodynamicist, so I have no idea. But you do win Geeky Post of the Day so far, so congratulations for that. Uh, 130 sides, sweet. 107 from that trip alone. Bob gets a stack of science ribbons, including his Mach 3, his Kerbal orbit, and his tourist mission as well. Excellent. With 205,000 in the bank. I was 225 to upgrade the VAB. That's annoying. But we can probably take more missions now. Head to the moon, pass it by, easy as pie. Fly by the moon, gather science data, return to Kerbal. Yep, I'll have that. Science data from space around Kerbal, we can do that on the way up. Test, conduct. More tourist missions. Do I want to do another tourist mission right now? We could do. But that means bringing the crew cabin up again, and I'm not sure I can bother bringing the crew cabin up on another flight. You want to go to a specific spot of the North Pole? Yeah, not doing that. Oh, you're both North Pole. I mean, we could do a flight just for that one. It pays 128k, it pays 134. But I want to go do moon flybys. Moon flybys first. So if we're not taking the crew cabin this time, let's see if we can get enough science to unlock anything a little more useful. Electrics does give us solar panels and the Probodyne Octo, which means we can send a probe up there if we need to. And decent batteries. And lights. Lights are always important. Yeah, we'll take that. And I can get another one of the... I'll hang another 45 tiers. Close, but not quite. 300k in the bank, which means we can upgrade the VAB, which means we're no longer limited by the 30 part limit. Right, let's revise that design a little bit and take this stuff to the moon. Now we have the extra part count, we can put a couple more fuel tanks on it, and that just solves the problem. And we can take the crew cabin off as well. Because much of it's fun bringing tourists up, we don't need it for this one. So let's put our three thermometers back on. Where did that thermometer go? I'm actually stuck inside the... Sam! Sam, thank you very much for the 30. Very much appreciated. How much RSI or 24 hours of gaming course? Dan said. Hopefully not too much. I intend to take Monday off work completely to recover, so it's going to be fine. But thank you very much, Sam. Donation is much appreciated. As will be my RSI recovery once I get past the end of this. Go away, thermometer. Thanks, Geekat. Yeah, it's one of the nice things with the charity streaming stuff. Maggie's have a whole bunch of stuff. Well, Just Giving has a whole bunch of stuff set up, rather. Not even Maggie's, it's Just Giving. But they have a ton of stuff set up for doing this sort of thing. So you get the donation counters and the alerts and all the rest of it. It's great. It makes charity streaming really good fun. Should do it more often. Although you lot will get charity fatigue after a while, which is hardly fair. Okay, we have all the science we need. We have just a single parachute, but we know this comes down. If we leave the heat shield on this time, it's going to come down without blowing up the Science Junior, which is always good. So the only question now is, do we have enough fuel? And the answer at this point is probably still no, but... Okay, that's a god. Enjoy the bike ride. We will see you in a bit. But yes, I'll be here all night, as they say. Where were we? Yes. Fuel. Fuel and thrust. Plenty of the power, 1.6, 635. And we're not short of juice in the top stage, we just need more in the bottom stage, I think. If I do that... At sea level, that's 777 from the boosters, 1900 from the main stage. 2006, that's going to get us close to orbit. It's about 3000, 3002 for orbit. But in a vacuum we've got 2.5 in the top stage. And if I don't screw up the orbital burn this time like I did last time, then we should be okay to make it to the moon on a free return. And our thrust to weight on the upper stage is better this time because the crew cabin's not there. So it's 1.09 rather than the tiny little engine we had last time. Alright, let's see if we can take this to the moon. Basically the same rocket as before, just a bit of extra fuel. Although now we're not limited by parts, I am going to put a couple of extra fins on the bottom stage just to make sure we've got a bit more stability. I'm also half tempted if we... Oh, we don't have the inline reaction wheels yet. I didn't take that bit of science, did I? Power. Power would be good. Now we have the option for it. Stick a couple of solar panels on the side of the Science Junior, just so we can recharge the batteries as we go. I don't care if they get burnt off on re-entry. I know they're a bit exposed on the side there, but they don't need to come back. And if we take that off there, we can stick an extra battery on the top. I mean, this pod is looking ugly. We just bolted everything we possibly can to the outside of it, but it'll do the job. It would be nice if we were able to do EVAs once we're up there and actually bring all the science inside. But I think we're going to be alright. So, boosters. Boosters, decouple them, fire main engine, drop the launch stage, fire second engine, decouple for the return, and then main parachute, drogues need to be separated out. Go in there. One parachute will bring down that with the materials bay. We know that works. That comes down at 6.8, give or take. And if we leave the heat shield on, we've got a crash tolerance of 9, so that's fine. Right. This time we are going to the moon. The moon Mark II. Save that. Crew. I think this time Valentine is going up. She hasn't had a flight yet. Let's go and do our moon flyby. I can have some more tea. I should take that material study on the pad at some point just to make the science alert go away, but I really can't be bothered right now. Okay, to the moon in 3, 2, 1. Tip it over very, very slightly, just so that when the boosters come down, they don't come down on the space center. Yeah, that's fine. This hole's a little more stable with the 4 fins on the bottom. I don't think it's going to be quite as prone to flipping out. I could still flip it if I really tried hard enough, but... yeah, this is quite straight up, this one. A little bit more flat than this, but... it's not too bad. I just don't want to move too far off prograde and get it to flip. We're already at 22k and we're barely turned over. Hey JG, yeah, the cloud mod is a combination of Eve and Scatterer, and the radio comms is coming from a mod called Chatterer. So I think for the Chatterer mod they actually used original stuff from Apollo and Soyuz missions and basically ran it backwards through a couple of filters to make it sound like it's, you know, Kerbalese. But yeah, it's a nice little touch just to make it sound like this, you know, actual comms going on between chip and ground. Okay, perhaps this is up to 60. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, Kerbal by reversing is about right. And anything Kerbals do is kind of backwards anyway, so that's a much better takeoff. Apoapsis is just pushing 70. And this stage is just about out. There we go. Drop that, coast to Apo, and then make our burn for orbit. Yes, it's bar backwards, exactly. Welcome to the stream, by the way, JG. Good to have you here. Thanks for dropping by. So, 76 for Apo, and we should be getting close to being ready to burn, I think. I mean, we're 1 minute off Apoapsis, and with this reduced engine I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take to actually make this orbital burn, so we'll start a little early. Uh, 58 seconds. We'll start about T-20. Should be enough to get us to orbital. You're only in for a wee bit, JGE, but wanted to give you support. Oh, thank you for dropping in. It's good to have it. Oh, the RSI is going to be fine. I've got a vertical mouse. My wrist is actually should be coping with this fairly okay. Crossed, but between brakes and a decent mouse, we should be fine. But hey, it's for a good cause. If I get a bit of ache out of it, I don't care. People with far more issues than me deserve the money. Alright, burn for orbit. Our base is sitting just ahead of Apoapsis and pushing it out in front of us, which is perfect. Pitch down a little bit to bring it towards us, and we are orbital. 78 by 76. That's how it should have gone first time. That's how orbital burns are supposed to work. Much better. Right, let's head for the moon. Moon, where are you? You're over there. Which means you probably want to maneuver about here. I could do this by eye, but I can't be bothered. That's a moon flyby. That's also a moon flyby. And this is starting to turn into a free return trajectory, which we can tweak once we get out to the moon. If I come round the moon on this side and go around that way, the moon's gravity will slingshot us back towards Kerbin. So we have a burn of 870 there, and we can make a small tweak to it just about here. And by doing this, we basically get a free return. Hurry up to 25k, perfect for a close flyby, and yeah, we get to come back to Kerbin. So we should come into the moon, come in around that way, fly around the back of the moon that way, and then we return on the road orbit round here, back to Kerbin for nothing. That manoeuvre is 62, that manoeuvre is 873, we got 2000 in the tank. We have 1000 Delta V left to spare. We can even slow ourselves down at return as well. Awesome. Right. 5 minutes to the node, 1 minute 4 second burn time. Let's go. Put ourselves on the node marker. And at T minus 32 seconds, start the burn. What do you mean come back to Kerbin 2 as a bonus, Tatty? You don't always come back to Kerbin. You don't always come back on the same trip, but you do come back. Alright. 20 seconds to burn. Let's go. With 1k Delta V I could probably do an orbital burn into moon orbit and get out again. I probably could. I don't have the mission to do moon orbit yet though, unfortunately. That said, I can check and see if it's there once I get into the moon's SOI, and if it is I'll pick it up and do it. Because yes, I probably can get into moon orbit quite easily. I can get out again with 1000 Delta V to spare. There's just no point in doing it if I don't have the mission. Yeah, Ottergod came back. He didn't, you know, survive re-entry, but he came back. Hey Moon, how you doing? There was a certain amount of litho braking involved. Yes. Otherwise known as I was really tired, not paying attention, and kind of forgot to put parachutes on the return craft. Because I was taking out station components and wasn't planning on bringing the craft back. It was going to be just a tug to sit there, and then I thought, oh, I'll bring Ottergod back while I'm here, because I've got a mission to bring him back home again. And I brought him back home and forgot about the whole... Yeah. Atmosphere's a bitch. Trying to tweak this orbit from here is kind of pointless really, because it's only a fraction of a meter per second. I'm just chasing the target marker now. It'd be nice to get it like that properly. Nah, it's not going to. Close enough. So our next manoeuvre is 62 meters a second, and we've still got 1200 left in the tank. Might redo that one because it's going to be slightly off now. Mainly because I think we're going to be coming in polar. Yeah, we are. Keep it flat. Pretty close to equatorial. Right. Still 62 meters a second. Just slightly different burn time. Okay, node in 20 minutes, 3-second burn. Can do that. Bye, Kerbal. Back in a bit. Okay, 1 minute to burn. So I was on the target marker. And this burn is at completely random angles to the moon itself. It's going to tweak our orbit nicely once we get there. Basically going to bring us from fairly elevated down to a nice close equatorial path of the moon. Node in 28, almost there. And a bit more. And at T minus 1.5, we can burn for the moon. Pretty close. Do the last little bit. Alright, how are we looking? 28.5. Perfect. Gets us into low moon space, we don't hit any mountains. And we will come back and hit Kerbal. Couldn't ask for better. Let's get us to the moon, and then I'll go and check the missions and see if there's actually a moon orbit mission, because if there is, we can take that as well. But yeah, this is going alright so far. What do we have up here? Contracts complete. Yeah, that's the one. Milestone, space tourism. Okay. So far, yes, it's always so far, JG. You never know what's going to happen next. But I am going to F5 for safety. Just in case the Kraken decides to show his face. Right, to the moon. In forward. It'll take a couple of hours to get there otherwise. And watch the science alert go nuts. Okay, we have 2 mystery goos, we have 2 barometers, we have 2 thermometers. So we can do atmospheric pressure scan high above the moon. Do a crew report. I mean, crew reports we're going to only be able to take 1 regardless of where we are, but temperature space is still impossible to measure because R&D haven't figured it out yet, and we can do mystery goo. Goo seems to be less dense. Fair enough, we're away from Kerbal, that makes sense I suppose. The serial study I'm going to save until we get to low moon space. I think it's worth slightly more. We can't do both because we can't EVA to take the data out and reset it. That said, we picked up 50k for milestones. I wonder if we have enough to upgrade for EVAs. We've got time to nip back to the space center, let's have a look. Because if we upgrade to EVAs, we can take the data out and reset the experiments, which will be fantastic. Are you disparaging Val's ability to push buttons, Tatty? I mean, she's not Autogod, she actually knows what she's doing in terms of pressing the reset button. Flight planning. It's astronaut complex for EVAs, isn't it? 75k. Yeah, we can do that. Oops. I want to go to tracking center. Right, let's go get some EVA reports. And multipoint, reset the science. Anything Jeb can do, Val can do better, absolutely. Including not crashing. So we can take material study here now. Actually no, it's only a scientist that can reset it, isn't it? It's not just anybody. We can take the data out, we can't reset it. No. But we can get EVA reports. Which is worth another 16 science. Yes, Tatty, you're right. Sorry, I was getting myself mixed up. But Val, stop spinning the ship around, will you? We'll take data out of there, reboard, and then we can get a new crew report. As and when we need it. So we still have one mystery goo left, we have both thermometers available now. And we have materials both when we get close to the moon. Okay. Where is the moon? There it is. You like the fact after God knows how many hours I still don't know if a high courage stupidity or a low courage stupidity stat is better. I kind of hoped they were going to do something with those eventually. They never did. I mean, I think they were just there as cosmetics to start with vague plans to actually make them mean something later down the line, but Squad never did anything with those stats. They're purely there for show, I think. It was one of those things that was there right from the start when they first built the game and it was just for fun. Oh, it actually affects the expressions. I think you might be right, Tatty, actually. Yes, I think it does. That's why Jeb always grins when he's flying into space doing ridiculous stuff, because... Yeah, hopefully KSP2, JGE, hopefully. It's going to be all that stuff built in and more. So yeah, our free moon return is going to sling us into an orbit that's going to come back smack into the middle of Kerbal at the minute, but we'll fix that on return. Now we're in the moon's SOI, I should also go check the missions as well, shouldn't I? When I went back for the EVA stuff, I forgot to check the mission control, see if we can get any orbital missions for the moon. Because if we can, we'll take those as well. Because as you said earlier on, got enough Delta V to do it. Orbit the moon for 130k. Perfect. Is there anything else we can do while we're here? Tourist surveys, random testing, bunch of Kerbal Academy stuff. Orbital spacewalk and transfer crew. Okay, there's rendezvous stuff, that's kind of fun. Yeah, we'll take that one. Can't do it all right now because we don't have two craft in space, but we can do that. You have to start modelling stuff for modding KSP2. Ooh, I'll be interested to see what you come up with, JG. If you're going to start doing KSP mods, that'll be really quite cool. Okay, back to the moon. And let's put this in orbit. Given we have the mission for it. Right. So, let's just see what it's going to take to orbit, because I don't think it'll take too much to slow us down. That burn as it stands is 183. We've got 1200 in the tank. Yeah. Are there any specifics for this moon orbit? No, just orbit. It's fine. And we're going to have everything we need for the first science one, yeah. Don't let me forget to do some science around Kerbal on the way back. Otherwise, I'm going to miss that one out. Alright, let's go orbit the moon. 183, we can do that quite easily. If you volunteer to test out the mods, Tatty, pretty sure computer will run KSP2. Yeah, I'm not sure mine will yet either. I suspect I'm going to need to do the upgrade before KSP2 turns up. But I've got plans for a new machine anyway. It's on the list at some point. 11-second burn. On the dark side of the moon. JG, you wanted to do very non-radial design stuff inspired by Paul Pepera. Okay, intrigued. Yeah, I'd love to see that when you get it done. It's going to sounds interesting. See to get a system that can run KSP2. 11-second burn time. And start at -5.5. Let's go. Slow ourselves down, put ourselves in moon orbit. Yes, I'm afraid links are turned off in chat. Sorry, folks. Right, we have moon orbit. We have a ton of science to do. Atmospheric pressure scan near the moon. Crew report in space near the moon. We get our EVA. EVA report. Moon silence. Finally do our material study, because that's where we want to do it. 75 science. Awesome. Mystery goo. 430. Temperature scan for 24. Another EVA report. Moon's east far side crater. We'll have that. Take all the data out of these if we can. Go. That's the one that's using it. And we'll take the data out of there. And we'll collect data from there. And we'll collect data from there as well. Because even if it comes back intact, at least we don't need it now. Right, now I can get back in. Stop the ship spinning. We are in orbit of the moon. I suspect we'll probably pick up a bunch more EVA reports as we're here, because as you go over different parts of the moon it gives you different different EVA reports. Spacewalk around the moon, another 15k, fantastic. Been around once or twice, just get the signs alerts. There we go, need to be another one. Moon's Highlands. Perfect. Oh, we've already got it. Oh well, never mind. Opera Art Station Thumper design. Okay, I'll have a look at that. Possibly in the first break. Yes, you're right, Tacky. Thumper's already taken in the KSB cannon. It's one of the boosters, but yeah. Alright, let's spin around to the light side of the moon and take a look at this in sunlight. Oh, no, orbit does go quite high on this side. It's Oh, okay, JG. I didn't realise that. The hero died a few years ago. I had to give a little tribute. Yeah, that seems pretty cool. Chat to him sometimes about design principles. No, I thoroughly approve of that. Sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, that would be quite smart. Yeah, let me know how that goes. I would love to see the mods you come up with. Sounds like really good fun. Right, I think I'm about to get back into low moon space. I'm probably going to pick up some more EVA triggers. There we go. Thought we might. Moon's Midland Crater. 24 science. Well, that's the nice thing with EVAs. Once you get them unlocked, you pick up so much science for doing just a couple of orbits. Fantastic. Go around to the dark side once more, pick up a couple more of these if we can. And back out again. Moon's Lowlands. Good old Brummy craters, yeah. Report from the Midlands. Moon looks a bit like Wolverhampton. Okay, let's find ourselves a way home. Now, we want to be leaving the moon going that way. And if we're leaving the moon going that way, we want to expand our orbit out this side. So we probably want to burn about here, I would guess. Push our orbit out that way. Leave moon space. Gonna be something. Minimizes this. Out there. Got burn time account 180 meters a second. I guess our periap's down to 670. $512. $25 is a little low. Same for 40k. There we go. 220 meters a second. Load in 3 hours. And that'll bring us home. You know, like hard surface modelling in case the Battletech stuff wasn't a giveaway. They're doing soft surface or textile padding insulation and the likes will be such a distinctive style. Okay. Yes, and Tatty, you're right, the stock like space station stuff does go a little way towards that with the expandable habitats. They're based on, I can't remember the name of the company now. There is a company that's actually designing expandable habitats for the ISS, and I think they're launching a test one sometime soon. I think it's actually going to go up this year, but it's probably been pushed back with everything that gets delayed with SpaceX and stuff. But I'm trying to think of the name of the company now. It's an oddball name. It sounds like it's the sort of thing to be out of Futurama. It's almost like not quite a comedy name per se, but it sounds a little odd. But if anybody out there can Google the company that's actually building expandable habitats for the ISS and stuff at the minute, that would be awesome. I can't remember the name of them. The inflatable ones are really quite cool. Oh, Bigelow Aerospace, thank you. Oh, they've gone under. Oh no. Oh, thanks, Broodman. Any idea what happened to them? I thought they were due to be launching a test module this year. The owner's a crack job and he load off all the stuff. Okay, fair enough. That's one way to destroy your company, I guess. I hope everybody else is picking up the concept. And inflatable habitats are a great idea because you can ship up so much living space for, you know, not having a hard shell on a massive mission. Wasn't one of the things with the ISS, you know, it's taken so many shuttle missions to launch small modules up, which are rigid shelled, and you know you don't get that much space inside them. Pack it into a big balloon, and you can take 10 times the volume up in the same space. Or an origami hard shell, that's true. Yeah, I suppose you could do semi-hard shells, couldn't you? You could do stuff that's rigid but collapsed. Let's just spin onto this node. Laughing out here. "12-second burn to go home." Right. Line this up. Now we'll start T-6. Oh, Tatty, yes, I know the guy you mean. Does the origami and is a former astro engineer. I've seen some of his videos. The stuff he makes is amazing. Like 300 or 400 folds, it's ridiculous. Finish this burn off. The last little bit of direction change, and we are coming home. Hurry up to 35.8, pretty much exactly what we wanted. 800 meters a second left in the tank. We can probably burn that off when we get close to Kerbal. Science reminder? I don't think there's any more science to do at the minute. Although we did the science from Kerbal orbit, thank you very much. Yes, that's the science reminder you meant. Well, as soon as I clear the moon's SOI, we're in orbit of Kerbal, so I can take some science then. So we can just spin on to the point where we leave the moon. We'll be back. Come and land on you soon. Right. EVA report in space high above Kerbal. Couldn't ask for better. And that's the science we're going to need for our mission. NASA's decided to sole source the Lunar Gateway Habitation Module to Northrop Grumman. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Northrop. They've had a few issues with a couple of rockets recently. But they're still a fairly reliable company. It'd be nice to see it in more than one company's hands, so it's not all the eggs in one basket, but I guess it's not a cheap contract, so if you're going to go with commercial space programs, you'd like to think you'd have 2 or 3, so that if one does fail, you've got backups, but without the funding, I guess. Alright, let's bring this home. And hope that we survive re-entry. I will save here, just in case, and then we can always come back to this if we need to make a few tweaks. Let's put ourselves roughly retrograde. They did have Bigelow, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Nanoracks, Orbital ATK, now Northrop, and Sierra Nevada, all vying for the contract. But I guess they're only ever going to award it to one, you know. Would have been nice to award it to 2 of them, but I get the feeling a few of those never really made the grade anyway. Obviously Bigelow went under. I've not heard of Nanoracks at all. Didn't Northrop buy up or merge with somebody else? ATK was part of that, I can't remember now. So many different contracts going on and so many different company names. Right, bring this in home. Might burn off the last of this fuel, just to slow us down a bit. Another EVA report. Kerbal silence, we'll have that. I think this might be the last of our EVAs though, because every time Valentina gets out she starts spinning the ship and I don't want it to be off axis once we actually get to get close to atmosphere. How many more EVAs are you going to give me? I mean, I'll take the science. Not complaining. Down to 150,000. Nanoracks are launching the first ever commercial permanent addition to the ISS of one of their airlocks being docked in a few months. Okay. Fair enough. Company I've not heard of. Keep track of most of the stuff going up, but nice to know there's more stuff going in there as well as the actual rocket launchers. Cool. One more EVA? Yeah, why not? Go on. Where are we now? Kerbin's grasslands. We've already got. Time for one more. Oh, we got the Badlands. That's one you don't get very often. Right, that's it. I'm done with EVAs now. We're getting far too close to re-entry time. And I'm not taking the high atmosphere one. Not at this speed. That daring one of jumping out at 69 kilometers just to get the high atmosphere EVA report is always fun, but it's not worth the hassle at this point. Okay, let's burn off the last bit of fuel. Maybe going this way. If we can keep that periapsis up. At around 38. They're not badlands, they're just misunderstood. Better launch straight up. Oh, what, for the high atmosphere EVA? Yes. Just get an APO of 65 and then just do it at 0 velocity, yeah. One neat thing Nanoracks designed with their airlock is a small hay bale-like system that can be used to deploy CubeSats from the airlock. Oh, that's quite smart. So you can bring up a SpaceX Dragon, unload all the cargo, prep the CubeSat on board, and then chuck it out the airlock with the Nanoracks one. Nice idea. Alright, Daddy, thank you for dropping by just now. We will see you later on. But yes, thank you very much for joining us for the first bit. Like I said, plenty more to come, so we'll see you later. Ah, plenty of later left. This is all going pretty good so far. Just got to keep it straight.